Hello and happy Friday to you, Minot sports fans. Probably the best day of the week amongst the views of probably most people. But any day that involves Minot sports is always a good day. Back again for episode 12. The Minot Sports Podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV and Radio and Joshua Strong Photography. So we got a heavy load tonight. In fact, now, going on over in Vegas, we have MSU softball opening up their brand new season against Concordia University in Portland over in Oregon. And game one is already in a final score between CU Portland and MSU. Portland wins the first game of the new season for Minot State 9-3, but that is not all the action they will have. They will be facing Simon Fraser University at 5:30. Hopefully they can rebound that time around. 9 hits were recorded for your Beavers. No errors. And that is a good thing because you never want to commit those errors. May cost you badly. But none by Minot State. Hopefully they can come away with the victory against Simon Fraser. Yesterday featured a few high school games. One that was easy to reach to at the Jets lair over at Magic City campus. We had action between the Minot Jets girls basketball team and the Mandan Braves. Coming in with a very good record, the Braves were... I said yesterday it would be a good challenge for the Jets from Minot High, and they faced that challenge. Not only did they face it so good, but they beat them. They beat the Mandan Braves. These are learning moments where they're going to grow, they're going to make progress to get better, and they're building for the future. Final score was 53-52. 3 players, Mariah Evenson, Becca Cheddar, and Allie Nelson, tallying in the double-digit points. It was tight defense in the first half, although Minot was able to get a big lead at halftime by 15. It was 25-10 at that point. And then Mandan came out firing, which for a good team like them, it was kind of a no surprise. It seemed like a no big deal for them because they know they're good. But in the end, Minot barely coming away with the victory. A big one indeed. Their defense came up outstanding in the dying moments. Avery Lundy hits 2 so huge threes at the end. One of them to take the lead. In fact, second one was the game winner for her. And she's only an 8th grader, guys. If I haven't mentioned already, she's only an 8th grader. She's making a big impact, as well as, of course, the 3 gals that I mentioned, Mariah Evenson, Allie Nelson, and Becca Cheddar. Nicely done, ladies. But I want to point out one important figure that I think is making a really nice impact for this Jets team. What do you think of head coach Jason Schwartz? Now let's talk about this for a minute. So last year, I didn't clarify this in the last podcast. I said they were 4-16 in the WDA conference and 4-18 overall. That was last year's record. They did not place very well, and the season ended on their last regular season game. Overall, it was just a tough year for Minot Jets basketball. But this year, it's got a different feel to it. And I think that's got to fall on who's running the team. And I'm looking at Jason Schwartz right now. He is making a very positive impact on these Jets. Remember the record I referenced not too long ago? 4-16. 4-18 conference versus overall record. Yep, Minot's already surpassed their win total from last year. That in itself just goes to show you the kind of impact that head coach Jason Schwartz is making with this team. And if all continues to go well throughout the rest of the year, how soon do we see Jason, Mr. Schwartz, Coach Schwartz, how soon do we see him in contention for West Region Coach of the Year? That'll be an interesting determination that I'm really curious about. I think he's doing a fantastic job with this team. Records are starting to show. Wins are starting to show. Heck, they just beat a good Mandan team last night. Everything's showing for them. And that falls back on the head coach, Jason Schwartz. Again, that's a 53-52 victory for your Minot Jets over the Mandan Braves. I think it's got to be soon until we see Jason Schwartz up there in West Region Coach of the Year conversation. And maybe in the future, he may get it. He may even get State Coach of the Year, but that's a little ways down the line. We will see where that ends up going. One thing that I tweeted about when I was covering this game last night, and I will post it on the Instagram story in a little bit here, but in my time as a student at Minot High going to those games, from then until now, covering that game last night, that was the loudest I've heard the MCC gym in that span of time. That was an awesome experience. I'm so glad to have enjoyed that. The Majets, the basketball team, is putting on a show. So nice job again, ladies. Keep her going. They're back at it tomorrow versus the state tourney runner-up Devils Lake Firebirds. Now that will be a challenge for sure. And then the other Minot High teams that were in action last night, the Minot High Magicians hockey team, they complete the season series with the same Mandan Braves, shut them out 7-0. Just yet another great game by your Minot High boys hockey team. Granted, they have had success versus Mandan the past few games. These are important wins that they will need to get good seeding come, once again, the West Region tourney. And then I went on that long story about Bismarck Legacy being a fairly new high school in the city of Bismarck. Minot High wrestling team was there just last night. They assist with all Minot sports going 3 for 3, spoiling Legacy's senior night with a final team score of 45-23. Wrestling continuing to stay impressive. Probably should start giving them more credit because they also are having a good season. A few bumps here and there, one of them being against Bismarck High, but that happens as always with every good team. So Minot High Athletics going 3-0 last night, a perfect 3-0. You'll love to see that. I already touched on MSU softball already happening today. Again, 9-3 loss. As mentioned already, they got another game coming up versus Simon Fraser in the same Vegas tourney. As for the other events going on tonight, we have Minot High Magicians Swimming. They are in West Fargo for an invite. It'll be against multiple schools. Not sure how many at the moment, but we will find out later when they post results. Mannheim Jets hockey, they are in Jamestown tonight at 5 o'clock. That is when the puck will drop. Hopefully they can build towards that above 500 record. And then I don't usually report on Class B high school events, mostly because I'm not too familiar with a bunch of the athletes or coaches or cheerleaders. But tonight is a hometown matchup between the Bishop Ryan Lions and the RE Deemers Knights. For boys basketball, that should be a fun crosstown rivalry matchup going on at RE Deemers. Tip off at 7:15. Moving on to college and junior hockey events. Minot State men's hockey will be in Bottineau today. Puck drop at 7:30 versus the Dakota College at Bottineau Jacks. MSU track and field is in Colorado today for an invite at the Colorado School of Mines. I will have updates on the story of certain results, and I will get to that soon. Minot State basketball on the road again. They are in Augustana University to face the Vikings. Women's at 5:30, men's at 7:30, depending on if the women's game does not completely interfere with the time of warm-ups. And then we have a senior night here in town. Minot State Wrestling will be facing off with the Northern State Wolves in the MSU Dome. First match is set to take place at 7 o'clock. And then with the mention of junior hockey, that means the Minotaurs are back in action tonight. They are back home once again versus the Austin Bruins from Austin, Minnesota. That game is set for 7:35. As always, the Minot Sports Podcast is brought to you by KMSU TV and Radio and Joshua Strong Photography. A little bit of great news that the Toros just announced. They will be sending 6 players to the North American Hockey League Top Prospects Tournament, which will be going on next month. The players are as followed: Sam Skinner, Kyler Clevin, Ben Garrity, Cole O'Connell, Jay Buchholz, and Owen Bumgarner. So congrats to those 6 guys. We will have updates on how well they do, and hopefully they can help contribute to the team that they will be performing for. And there may even be scouts there watching. So, exciting time for them, I bet. Hope you all had a wonderful Friday. Definitely got more news, content, and updates collected in this one. There will be plenty more going on this weekend. I will have updates on the story and on Twitter as well. But again, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a nice day and weekend, and take care.